Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Friday, September 20th. Oh, it's Friday. Good. 2024. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a great weekend. Lots to discuss. Lots to talk about. This is serious talk about everything that affects you, and we do not pull any punches. We will talk the election as we head into the election, and all the bullcrap is being spewed at you. We'll talk markets, the economy, jobs, your job, your industry, debt and deficits, scams and shams, whatever crosses our desk. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we started the show with the markets, and we did a ton of markets yesterday. I got to be a little bit different today because we are heading to this election. And as you know, I have no use for either. Sorry. Which means nobody likes us. But that's okay. It's a binary choice. Whoever you pick, terrific. We don't pull any punches. I can tell you right now, Trump just came out and proposed a cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. So in other words, Kamala Harris should not have price controls, but Donald Trump should have price controls. Really? Interesting. But that's not what I want to really discuss here. Because as you know, I believe Kamala Harris was not elected. She was selected. As you know, I think it was a coup. I think it was planned before anything. I believe they were running the table to make sure they got to the point where they didn't have to do a primary. They went into the tank. And of course, the media have never asked Kamala Harris, were you part of that? Can you show your phone records? Did you speak to George Clooney, Schumer, Obama's, Clinton's? No, they just let it be. We also know that she couldn't poll 1% in the primaries. We also know all that. But I'm open to anything. I'm wide open to hear her and hopefully hear some really good stuff and more importantly, believe her. I'm looking for a Margaret Thatcher, since we're talking women. I'm looking for a Ronald Reagan, if you're talking men. And they're not perfect, but they believed in low taxes, less regulations, getting the hell out of the way as much as possible. And Reagan unleashed this country by taking taxes. I think the high rate was 70, 80, 90, down to 28%. He unleashed it. So I give everybody a chance. So I'm going to start out with an apology. I'm really pissed off at myself that I am not in the running for the presidency of the United States. I would have been so much better than the past 5, I can't even begin to tell you. Certainly so much better than the dude running the show now. And certainly much better than her. But I couldn't get past the primary. Trump would blow my doors off in the primary because, and by the way, this is not a pejorative, I'm just using the title, you MAGA people out there love him. And it's tough to get past that, even if I was more sound than him, took the good parts of him, got rid of the bad parts, and added other great things. When people love somebody, man, you just love them. And I respect you for that. So there's no way I'd get through the primary, but if I did, I'd be up 15 points on her right now. I would landslide her. I'd possibly get California, New York also. I mean that. And there's a two-part to that. I would expose the living hell out of her in the debate. And that's why Trump can say all he wants. He won the debate. Not only did he lose the debate, he lost huge because he missed the easiest, greatest layup opportunity in history. It was like T-ball. But that's on him. But I want to talk about what I watched, and that was Oprah with Kamala Harris. And I'm a huge Oprah fan, but I'm now pissed off at her because she knows Kamala Harris is an empty vessel. I watched her. I listened to Kamala Harris. I watched Oprah. You can see it in her eyes, in her face. What the hell am I doing here? Who the hell is this woman? Oh my goodness gracious. How did she get to this point? You could just tell. And when you have a chance, I want you to watch the interviews. And I titled this show, What is Word Salad? Everybody's saying she's word salad. And what that simply means is you come up with some answer. It takes 3 minutes of an answer, and you say nothing. Here's what I think. And I would say it to her face. She's made up. She's an actress. They told her that everything that she is and everything that she is about, she cannot be into the election because you are an extreme leftist. So here is now who you are. You are now for border walls. You're now for a strict border. You're now for helping out small business. You're now for getting rid of anything Joe Biden thought of. You're now a centrist. And if you watch her speak, you know when you're not something and you speak, you can see whether you're believable or not. People can feel it. It's almost like she's got an earpiece and people are telling her what to say. But since people in your ear, while you're trying to talk, affects you talking, you just blah, 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 blah. I cannot believe. Well, I can. There's nothing there. Because she can't tell you now what she really wants and who she is. And that is Marxist control freakism. Massive government. Massive taxes. Massive spending. Massive control. Open borders. Oh, that's right. That's what we've had for the last 3.5 years. That they're trying to tell you to forget about. It did not happen. I dare you. Go watch. And watch Oprah. And listen to her. She's an amateur. She's a know-nothing. A young man asked her specifically, he said, what would you do to control the border? She went on a 3-minute, I don't know what the hell it is, and Oprah had to interfere and say, oh, so you want to put a new bill through? So I'm pissed off at Oprah for backing this nausea. I wish I ran. I would do a great job running this country. Accountability in government, balanced budgets, regulations but not onerous, fix up the communities that needed fixing up, get all the great business people to partner in those areas, pick the bottom up, and then tell each and every one of you to work hard, educate yourself, become great. We're getting out of your way. We believe in the safety net, and we'll still have it. We'll do everything we can for everybody. We take care of our veterans. We'll take care of our homeless. We want immigrants to come here controlled. If you're a criminal, you're going to do the time, and that'll tell the rest of the criminals to stop doing the criminal thing. Unlike some of these cities that are insane, run by insane people who should not be running lemonade stands. And then get the hell out of your way. Up next, we'll put a little bow tie on it, hit the markets. Quite the week. Word salad. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
So, if you want to know what I mean, in the FCC, the Federal Communications Commissioner, $42 billion on broadband initiative in 3 years. 1,039 days and not one person is connected. No homes, no businesses, not even a shovel in the ground. That's what I mean by accountability. 42 billion. 42 billion. Government run. The FCC commissioner came out and said they're too worried about DEI and other political goals. The government could have had a deal with Starlink, but they turned it down because it was Elon Musk. It would have cost $1,300 per location. Now going forward, it will cost $100,000 per location. Your government is putting politics ahead of your tax dollars. That's what I'm talking about. Wouldn't happen with me. $8 billion for charging stations. There's 8 of them. That's not a typo. When Buttigieg was asked about it, well, it takes time. You know what I say as a taxpayer? Up yours. Where's the $8 billion? Any friends of yours? Any donors? Wouldn't happen on the Kaltbaum. How about that for saving money right off the bat? $50 billion. What could Gary Kaltbaum, president, do with $50 billion of your tax dollars? If it was done efficiently, just $50 billion. How about the $350 billion that was given to John Podesta, a Democratic hack, lifelong Democratic hack that knows nothing about the climate? Not a weatherman, not a scientist, a Democratic hack. Where's the money? Where is it gone? That's another $350 billion under President Kaltbaum back out of government. Interesting, huh? How easy it would be. In 1.5 minutes, I described for you $400 billion that these sleazebags. And then I get the hell out of your way. You know why? You're smarter than everybody in D.C. Each and every one of you. Each and every one of you know what's good for your family, not them. Remember Hillary Clinton, it takes a village? No, it takes you as a mom and dad taking care of your kids. It takes a village. Kiss mine, Miss Influence Peddler. You know what it took for her? To create the Clinton Foundation initiative. And how to nowhere the Clintons are worth $200 million. Yet they're telling us what to do. This is what I want to hear from? And now Oprah last night. I love Oprah, and now I'm pissed off at Oprah. She was telling us what we had to believe and what to think. She lied to you last night. Oprah lied in the name of, oh, we got to hire her. So I apologize to you. Who knows? Maybe in 4. I have no interest in the House, in the Senate. I have an interest in taking over and running the country the right way. In the name of the people, we the people. Which means as soon as I declare, if I declare I'm going to be a racist, sodomizer, piece of crap. Because that's what they do to anybody who tries to do the right thing. And if you think it would be tough to run the country, look what they're already doing. Look what's happened. Look what's going on. Look at the prices you're paying for things. Look how rich they are getting in D.C. on $180,000 a year. Look how many criminals are being arrested 30 times and being let out with no bail. Look at these drugstores and supermarkets in New York City where everything is locked up because, just go ahead. Look how gangs are taking over in Aurora, Colorado, and nobody's doing anything about it. Look how the colleges have students saying terrorists and rapists and murderers are cool. Not so sure I'd be able to sway them. But they tell you how much you need them. I'll be telling you, we need you. Interesting. Interesting. Then again, if I was the President of the United States, how would I be able to go to pro wrestling matches? I'd have to tape General Hospital every day. How am I going to do that? And certainly I won't be able to watch the market. I'm serious on everything I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not I follow through is another story. Because the machine is big. Gargantuan. Huge. To the tune of 35 trillion of debt headed to 56 trillion. Brought to you by all. We segue. I want to start with gold. So just so you know, gold has been trend up, but kind of sort of from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. I'm wondering if it's going to start heading towards noon or midnight on the clock. It's starting to feel like, as it's been quietly ascending, all quiet ascensions, if they keep going, eventually get jumped on. That'll be up next first. Then the rest of the market. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So we're we own gold, and I don't think we own enough. Just letting you know. There really is no great place right here to jump all over it after the move it's had. Man, it just feels like... We'll see. The primary breakout was in early March. Little secondary breakout late March. Sat around for about 4 months, and now it's just been slowly drifting higher. And I can be wrong, but it's just kind of starting to feel like. We'll see. Next thing I want to bring up, late in the day, there was something about Qualcomm wanting to buy Intel. I'm agnostic on it, and Intel, one of the big disasters of the last 20 some odd years. Intel is trading at $21.87. It was $75.81 in August of 2000. Think long term. I want to mention CrowdStrike. I don't own it, but I got to tell you that it was up another 21 today, recovering from the disaster it had, a 50% drop. Big volume day today. I did not see any news, but I think institutions are getting very comfortable that the worst is over for them. It's up nicely off the lows after the market put in a low after that crash. I don't own it yet. I'm interested. Just letting you know. And again, the semis very weak today, came off the lows when the news of possibly Qualcomm buying Intel, but we want to continue to let you know the semis, as we've always said, most of the time they lead markets up and down. They're now a caboose. They are not leading the market if we keep going higher. I will flat out tell you that right now, and it's not hard to see. You just go look at the chart of it. Transports. They've been rallying up with economically sensitive names. Transports today were down a juicy 576 points, giving back the last 5 days. Federal Express, after the close yesterday, earnings down 21%, no sales growth, down 45 and change today, 15% on 11 times average volume. And in sympathy, anything. Old Dominion, down 15. SAIA, down 17. ArcBest, down 6. It's less of a price. Landstar, down 6. JB Hunt, down 9. bad day for the truckers. I'm interested in watching that very closely because kind of been back and forth on economic stocks. They have been wacky as of recent. As we told you in the last few days, after the leak of the Fed's half point, economically sensitive names reversed last Wednesday and have been rallying up, but reality came back to haunt today in the transports, led by FedEx. Ew. We do not own any FedEx, thankfully. Yay. Dow was up 38. NASDAQ, though, down 65. NASDAQ 100 down 48. S&P down 11. Semis were an anchor. They pulled back. Goldman was down 6 today. BlackRock 6. JP Morgan. Well, JP Morgan actually finished up. My bad. Caterpillar in the Dow down 4 and change. But nothing untoward. We gapped up 500 yesterday, pretty much did nothing the whole day. We gapped up 400 on the NASDAQ, up a little bit. I can't predict gaps. They're a pain in the arse, these gaps, but welcome to our world, these gaps, because you deal with Asia and Europe and whatever else goes on over there and blah, 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 blah. But good week. Leadership. There's leadership. And let's hope it continues. We've been told September's supposedly bad at the end, but it hasn't been bad. We still got a few more days. We're told October's going to be better. We don't know. We'll let you know. Most important part of the equation is better action led by not the NASDAQ, not the NASDAQ 100. They've rallied up, but other areas, big tech, not really. Nvidia going into the 14-week nothing witness and still down 20% from the highs. We'll see if it breaks out again, and you'll know it because we'll yell it. But other things better. Other things better. Let's call today with the transports a little bit of a wake-up call that not everything's right. Apple, gotta mention that. That was what I would call somewhat of a weird day. They jammed Apple up. It was up about $5 and finished down. Kind of, sort of all happened. Just so you know, Apple dropped, I knew something was up, dropped $4.50 in the last 5 minutes of the day. I have yet to see any news that caused that. I know that Tim Cook was in New York City at that big Apple store, the opening of this iPhone 16. The talk is it's not selling as well, beats the hell out of me. My biggest issue with Apple, it's trading at 35 times earnings, and their growth ain't even close to where it used to be when it used to trade 15 times earnings. So the question is there eventually going to be a comeuppance on valuation? I don't know. We don't own Apple. We bought it breaking above 200. We sold it around 228. We watched it go to 237. We watched it go down to 196 when the market croaked on Japan. We watched it go up to 233, back to 215. It's now 228. Welcome to your 3-year-old child with a crayon scribbling on a sheet of paper. That's what the chart of Apple looks like at this juncture. But what a company. Think about that. They have created their own world, and we're in it. But as I've said, I think I've got the iPhone 12. I didn't get a 13, 14, 15, but I may have to start getting one soon. Do you know why? My phone doesn't work the way it used to. I think they do that on purpose. I've been told that Apple plays with these things with age, so you got to get a new one. And I think Apple, didn't they pay a fine for something like that? If memory serves me right, I think something was up with Apple. Anyway, what a fantastic story. I remember when they came out with the iPod, I said, it's just a Walkman. Speaking of the opposite, so I was doing some flights for my son. The better, cheaper flight was Spirit Air. The not as great, more expensive flight was Delta. Guess what I chose? Isn't it interesting how reputation, interesting, huh? Reputation and experience. I've flown Spirit Air, I believe, twice. Both were harrowing. We didn't crash. Wasn't turbulence. It's just tough. Just tough. Just little things like that in the business world. It's the things we have flushed out throughout the years. Kmart versus Walmart. And I can think of many others. Lastly, on one other note, you're welcome. The Trump stock is now $13.55. When it was $70, we told you we thought it was worth $10. And that's only because Trump's name was on it, because without the name, we think it's $1. Valuation, kids. Price times shares. That's all. Up next, this, that, and the other thing, or whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to...
What are we waiting for?
Well, what are you waiting for?
1, 2, ready, go.
Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
Ba-da-da. Da-da-da. So, I dare you and I double dare you. Go watch the interview with Oprah and you're going to be... I don't care if you're a Democrat and you love her and you hate Trump. Watch it and be completely unbiased. And you be saying to yourself, huh? Huh? What? And at the same time, because we are fair here, I couldn't believe Trump comes out and says, oh, when I'm president, credit cards can only charge 10% interest. This from the president, same president who said price controls by Kamala Harris. That's the definition of price controls. That's the definitions of dictates and mandates that we don't want. You know how we say to you, just get the hell out of the way? And I had somebody text me because I put it up on Twitter or X. Yeah, but they charge too much. Good. Then pay off your bill. As I've told you, I've never paid a dime in interest on a credit card. They charge too much. Shop around. They charge too much. Yeah, let's tell all these companies, these bad companies, how much they can charge on their businesses. And you'll be Venezuela and put everybody out of business. Sure. And by the way, he's not going to do that anyhow. He's pandering, just like the other one. He knows. Dollar signs. We're going to save you money. We're going to give you money. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. You know what Gary says? We ain't giving you anything. Except your taxes are going to be very low, and we're going to be efficient and effective. And we're going to let you flourish. What a concept, huh? What a concept. And all of that, I'd be 15 points ahead of her after that debate. I would have her mumbling and stumbling and fumbling all over the place. I digress. I segue, I digress, and all that fun stuff. I got a lot of emails on the Fed. A lot. Let me just be repetitive. They've never created a job. They do nothing for the economy. They have taken credit for the economy coming back by printing $9 trillion. I got news for you. The only reason the economy came back is because COVID went away and we went back to work. Florida opened Disney World a year before the moron running California opened Disneyland. So Florida did better than California. Little things like that. He lowered rates a half point. Let me go backwards. He gets credit also for easing monetary policy, rates down to zero, and kept the pipes moving. I don't believe that either. If he did nothing, we would have come out of it. I don't buy into any of that bunk. So he lowered the Fed funds rate. That'll affect some adjustable mortgages, bring them down. It's going to affect savers negatively. You're going to get less on your money markets. And all he did was play catch up. What's working on the economy now is the 10-year yields at 3.728, a little up off the lows. The high was 5% last October. We went back up to about 4.7 and change in April. I believe mortgage rates are down to like 6% now. I think they hit a high of like 7.6, 7.7. It's not helping the housing market in any real great shakes because there's still fantasy land pricing. And just so you know, in cities right now, I believe Tampa, Florida, inventory's up 90%. If you go on Zillow, whatever, a lot of cities are like that. Seeing a bunch of that in Orlando too. But his move is negligible. He's the most overrated government official. Well, they're all overrated. But he's overrated. I'm always amazed how he gets credit for things. And I'm sitting on TV time and time again saying, what does this guy do that we don't do? He's the economy. I heard him talk about engineering the economy and engineering inflation. Like they have control of a $25 trillion economy and inflation. Just so you know, inflation was caused by printing up to $9 trillion. Inflation is down the rate of because he's no longer printing. He's going the other way. There was all this talk, it's all Biden for spending, and we kept saying no. Biden's spending even more now. Why is the rate of inflation down? Because the Fed stopped printing. And the reason he doesn't get the blame again is he's not an elected official. You don't gain anything or garner anything by blaming somebody that's a selected and not elected. I can promise you if he was elected, they would rip in the stuffings out of him. So nothing changed. What happened in the markets, perception changed. Economically sensitive stocks have had a good run since last Wednesday when they leaked the half point. But reality will have to come into play. What do we mean by that? FedEx just crashed today. That's an economic stock, don't you think? And now we're going to watch. I've been mentioning to you like building/construction stocks have been rallying up. If they gag on earnings, they're going to croak too. and that we'll know in time. So, good week. Not the greatest of day today, but I think we're in okay stead, and we'll keep you informed. You have a great weekend. Drive carefully, and when you get home, do like we do. It's quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Peace out. Stay well. Serenity now. Good night, all.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.